Tap yours. Oh, Andy, go fix the plugs.
No, so I have it. You don't have it.
No, this cap doesn't, and I didn't plug those in. It was already plugged in when I got here.
So
we're just leaving it plugged in from now on.
Right, but I wasn't didn't the last time we do it, wasn't it here? Because it wasn't connected. Didn't I do something here? Hold on. You got two connections in and out? In the back, 2 lines.
I get 2, yeah.
All right, let me go try something real quick.
Sit up, talk. Thank you.
Right now. No. Work great. No. I was telling her to color code these. She was going to do that. I don't like that. That's weird. All right, so they're all dead now, right? Try yours.
Hello.
Nothing. So that's doing it, right? This did nothing. That's those. All right, so that means it's,
Down that way.
if you want to, that means it was some over here, there's a connection over here. It's not making it, is what that is. Because these are just for those couple. Huh?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
That works, yours works.
Mhm.
So it ends at mine, right?
Yeah.
It's from here somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere down there to the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make noise?
You have 2 at that time.
Sorry.
You look so tired. How many lights is there? Count up. There's a lot, but count quiet.
You have lights on yours? No, they're just network cable from here. They're just daisy chain together. Oh, just daisy. Because you can see the cable's right here, and it just goes from one to one to one. Yeah. So, but if I remember before, there was an issue. Yeah, you see, I got green on one side, yellow on the other. It's some of this cable. There you go. Hold on.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Thank
you.
you.
It's the cable. Yep.
You have to hold it there the whole time?
Yeah. Hold on. No. Wedge it over.
Hello.
Still works.
All right.
We're good.
That's it. Bad cable. Let them know to get a new, all they need is a new cable from here to here. Whew. Anything helps. All right, now that that's done, let's get this started. 6:07 p.m. on the 24th. And this is for the 2024 Almont Heritage Festival. First, we'll start off with open discussion.
It's pretty much all open discussion because it's our first meeting.
Pretty
so
much.
It's all just
Um,
up for discussion.
So I think right now, we're going to talk about this tonight at the meeting, but let's let everybody know. We did present to Village Council, the social district, which they committed to hopefully get back to us. Don't give me that look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The February 1st meeting, or your first meeting of February, which is the
We're
first
on
Tuesday.
the agenda.
We're on the agenda. So as long as their attorney blesses it, we should have both sides of the street, social districting approved, and then we just move forward. Depending on licensing, we're looking at a couple months. The goal is to have it up and running by hopefully April, if not May.
I
So-
saw the meeting. I just wanted to say you guys did a really good presentation, like covering all the questions and like having your bases covered for the questions they did have. So nice job.
Thank you. We tried.
We try.
And there was a lot there. And Wayne, I think you guys received it well from what I heard. Yeah. So the hard part, there's a lot hinged on that, right? So if it gets approved, which it should, now we got to think where's the tent going, and then how we're going to run the beer tent and work with the Lions Club and work with the bars, and that's going to add a lot of complexity. So I think once we know where that's at, we need to make sure that those who want to be involved from the bar restaurants, they're going to have a representative involved, because it's going to be back and forth on how we order, who's doing what, the whole deal.
Is that also going to have an effect the people who are bringing drinks from like a bar? They're not going to be able to bring that into the beer tent? How is that going to work?
My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but if they get it from one of our cups, right, we're okay?
No, because it's
No.
2 different licenses.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
So there are going to be some complexities we'll have to work out with those.
Even though it's the same bars potentially running the beer tent?
I will have to look into that more, but I know that a special event license is different than a social district license, so.
Do we still have to get the special event license, even with having it located within the district? I thought, and I'm only going back to the way the map was, one was called a social district, the other one was called
Commons
a
area.
commons area.
Yeah, I have this all for a regular meeting in the packet.
So maybe just 2 weeks.
No, if the social district is run by the businesses who already have their social district licenses or permits, then no. But if we have a special events license that's serving alcohol, the social district, it has to be 2 separate entities.
So complexity. So we added more complexity to our already heavy plate, but it's all right. So we'll have to work through it, but a lot is now hinging on that, right? I'm thinking.
On village council's approval.
Wink, wink.
The synopsis was, I think A's, as long as the attorney's good, I think A's going to go for it, which is awesome. Car show. I got Autorama ad here.
I'm gonna get the Autorama ad submitted to Cruisin' News. And then I'll have flyers done and copied before.
And do we want to
March
follow, well, that's
1st.
the thing too. Do we want to follow everything that was on the old flyer? Because again, like what we were talking about a little bit before, do you guys want to change rates, fees? Again, I think now is probably the time
Yeah.
if you're going to do it.
Right. What are your thoughts on upping the entry fee?
Put it up on $5.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. I'm
What did you
open.
say, Angela?
Up on $5.
Is that going
Well,
to be
it's-
20?
20 for pre-registrants.
And I think it'll help cover, I bet we'll have, well, I can't say that with this. but I think it'll help cover some of the Square fees because I would think more people who pre-register may use Square more. And if we're going to get it out there that much sooner, that would help cover some of the, and I know it's minimal, but still, it's another cost.
What's the average cost for pre-registration for a car show like ours? Is $20 ridiculous?
It depends, you know what I mean, like the Peach Festival, like they never change the rates, they're the same every year. This year they're the same. You know, some of the big ones are the same.
What do they charge at Peach Fest? I don't even remember.
Same 20, 15. So they're the same with us. But then, you know, you go to Rochester, they're the newer, right? So it's 10 to 1 to 1 the other, honestly. It really is.
Will it have what do you think people will shy away from doing pre-registration if it's
It depends, you know, like for me, like if I have a bunch of cards, like to me it's like, okay, $50 versus like, okay, it's $15, I can pre-register $30 now, big deal. But, you know, again, it's, you know,
You got a couple cars, you're going 30 to 40.
right. Like I said, I really don't think $5 is gonna make or break it, you know what I mean? I really don't. But like again, you know, I mean, it's 10 to 1.
And here's my other thought. Since we can only fit so many cars, I don't think it's a bad thing to raise the price because we only have so much room.
So
And I think we're going to be turning people away.
at 500 cars, which I think is kind of what we're forecasting for this year, you know, you're $7,500 on 15. It's easy math on the other one. You're looking at 10 grand if they pre-register it.
Yeah, because like you said, they're gonna sneak in there and I can do this one hang out. So, like I said, that may offset some of the ones they're gonna, as we saw, you might get 100 of them that are just gonna congregate, you know, with their buddies.
That's not going to be able to happen this year because we're having offsite registration. They wouldn't be able to get downtown.
I feel like we do offer a lot like of the extras for our car show because it's like all centered around there having the food trucks and the vendors. Like that's just, and the bags that we give away and just catering. I mean, Heritage Festival, a huge part of it is just the car show, and then the bands. I mean, the beer tent. So
So I'm good with that, man. I don't think it's really gonna detour $5.
I don't either.
So we want to do 20 and 25.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of the other idea with the flyer too, right? So to that point, that's what we're thinking about too. If we want to do that offsite registration or potentially at the school, that was one of the things for the flyer. I mean, do we want to make it when we're going to high school first
Yes.
on the flyer? Then they go and get paraded in, like
Yes.
they call it a parade or whatever down downtown.
The only thing is that the youth football schedule isn't released yet, and if there are youth football games all day, that parking lot is packed.
Even that early, you think?
Because they'll be cleared out of there,
But-
they're by 8 o'clock.
Right. And we're going to have a registration
The-
cutoff.
No, I understand, but flag football starts at 8. So.
and thank
Probably
you,
should
Angela.
plan on.
Yeah,
Did you have some pull, Angela?
because that's the only thing,
No,
get away from going to downtown.
Right.
Getting out of there.
Yeah.
Because one of the other thoughts was, you know, I know some other ones do it now, we've actually seen how much pre-registration we get. You know, as the bonus, you know, if they want to pre-register to help alleviate potentially, if we know how many cars are really coming in, maybe that's what we talked about before, is that maybe a perk that if you know, to prevent from like businesses do, if you want to get a preferred parking, you have to pre-register. You paying for that is getting you to save that spot.
Yeah.
So when you're getting brought in, you're getting the pick of the litter. This is the reason why you want to pre-register. And it gets away from them also from trying to nitpick. Okay, here's your opportunity. You got until now, until.
If we bring them in off Kidder, though, we could use the middle school or OP
Correct.
and do registration and then just go down the service drive onto North Main if the high school.
Because again, that's why I thought if you do the flyers now, save on rent, on that. You're gonna go somewhere else in the park. You're gonna get this in pre-registration. If you do it now, you'll save. You're gonna get the magnet. You're gonna get the preferred parking. You're gonna get this. You're at Autorama. Let's register through your square. Let's get it done. You know.
Yeah, and middle school parking lot is quite a bit bigger, going the sides and the back. It'd just be nice at the high school if they all lined up right off of Holland and they could
As long
go.
as it's an away game, we'll be fine.
Right.
We just won't know. Yeah.
When does that schedule come out, do you know?
Registration isn't even until April, so probably not till May or June.
Could we say, line up at the schools, at least they were pointing them in the
Yeah,
right
and I
area?
just have a star, right.
Right on, like just in the
Right.
middle of the campus.
At least they know that's where they're going, and then the closer we get, we then have high school or middle school or whatever we're using.
We're going to need registration signage this year then. Add
And
that to
then
your list.
also maybe like stress emails so we can send them an update, like an email, like with a map or
The
something.
one thing I've learned about car guys is
They don't have emails.
They don't email.
emails.
Yeah.
And
No.
they don't like to
Old
give
guys
them,
don't.
and they don't even know them. If they have them.
And that's the big thing, like with social media, that was the lesson.
No.
They don't do the social media either.
Well, I mean, they do like what the wife does or, that kind of thing. Like, again, it's a lot of old school.
Never had more wives call me, ever.
No.
The guys did
Yep.
not call me. It
No.
was always the wives.
Mhm.
Can we get like another ad in Cruise and News like closer to the date and
Yeah.
have an updated map
Yeah,
maybe? Or
last year I
something?
think we did like 2 leading up
I
to
did
it, didn't we?
yes, I did
Yeah.
the summer issues. So we're gonna do Autorama and then we'll
Yeah.
do an updated one in the summer with, Cruise and News.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said.
I don't, on the other end, do we want to utilize a service drive if football's going on? Because you're going to have people coming in and out.
No, you won't. The service drive is closed on the weekends. So we could open it, but.
No, he meant if there's football.
Right, so
I know,
let's,
but
Oh, even for that?
It's closed
Oh,
during,
okay.
during youth football, so we'll just have to have signs.
no, I get that, but if youth football by chance is that day and it starts at 8, there's going to be parents going in and out of that parking lot all day then at that point. Do we want them going down? Do we want to lead them down past high school where people are now coming in and out causing confusion, or would it be better to now lead them to Kidder like you thought? That's something we're going to talk about.
If you're gonna do registration, and you're gonna have a cutoff time, you really are gonna have someone sitting there then until, again, if we wanna run it to 10:30, 11.
Right,
So they're gonna have to shut them down, so we're
Correct.
gonna put it, they're gonna be,
right.
There's with holiday, there's so much going on with those entrances too. You're gonna have to have like a whole crew down there,
That was a nightmare.
especially like if you can't block off some of those entrances because of youth football. Then that's gonna be
Yeah. and that's
hard,
why it's
difficult.
Flyer, because they'll come,
Yeah.
like as we see, they're gonna come in everywhere in the morning.
Right.
They're gonna overload that parking lots.
Also, side note, you're gonna need a porta potty over there for whoever has to sit there all morning.
Right.
Yeah, and all the guys are getting coffee.
Right, and all the old men, yes.
So it adds more complexity, but I think.
What if
I
we
think it works.
did,
It's better at the end of the day
I do.
though still.
what if we had Industrial Drive or Research Drive be our, because all those businesses except Vinkiers are closed on Saturday. I wonder if we could get that closed down
Good.
and
Yeah.
do registration and line up there.
It's not a terrible idea.
Start shipping them down. That way we avoid, it's only one way in and one way out.
Is the bank open
Yeah.
Saturday morning? Are
Bank
they
is
gonna
open
get
Saturday.
pissy?
But they have an entrance off Tubbs Springs, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They have
Oh,
an-
yeah, they do. Okay, I just don't wanna, upset them.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So you can say pre-registration online, there's another line, pre-registration goes into Saturday, stuff like that.
Right. Well, if they come in off Van Dyke that way, and then we line them up pointing towards Main Howland, then
Yeah.
we
And
just,
send them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Angela.
But then there's all those like business lots too. And they'll, all of those businesses will be closed. So if we need
Right.
to pull cars,
And that might be something good. We talk to the businesses with the trailer parking, any of the businesses that are willing, we can rope off the ones that aren't and the ones that are, maybe they'll let us use that for, because those businesses are in the DDA district.
Yep.
So we don't really, it's not like the schools where we have to ask. We could just
Yeah.
utilize the streets.
Well, that's better. That way we're not.
Right.
It's a really good idea.
Might be the better idea.
Let's take a porta potty out there.
Put on a trailer. We can just drive it around wherever we need it.
We can move it later.
What?
Well, that's the other thing too, you want to name it something that you like, again, time to, you want to brand it, you know, that's the other thing too. Do you want to still call it Elmont Heritage Festival Car Show, or do you want to call it like Auto Fest? Do you want to call it?
Can't call it
I
that.
know, but like, yeah, like if it's something, again, it's a chance, because Auto Ram is going to be a big, never done this before, so it's kind of like.
I mean, I'm fine with what we've always called it. Is there something else you want to call it? It's basically your car show, Wayne.
No, it's just like one of those things, too, it's just, how do we, do we want to just get known for it?
Never mind, we got rid of the hat. Never mind.
Hat.
The hat.
It's design. Well, that's what I mean too, yeah, do you want to do it, do we want to like stick with something that we want to? I think you want to do that.
I mean, I like this that we have now. Like, I'm good with that. Unless somebody, I don't know. I like it. I'm fine with still calling it what it is. It has been. Yeah.
Do you have, here's a thought too. We just utilize the Heritage Fest page, right?
So that's the other problem, so that we have, because the problem is because we're a business page. Unless they contact us, they can't receive, like, you know what I'm saying, so I can't push to them. So that's why I'm not having to do it on my own again, to get the clubs and stuff. So that's like a lot of like Mount Clemens and stuff like that, they kind of piggyback and
That's what I'm wondering.
page.
so
What-
have our own not business.
Yeah, and then that's kind of why people will kind of like brand it somewhat, like it'd be Mont Clemens Cruise, like that's the page. Like even though it's branded by Mont Clemens, the downtown, Mont Clemens Cruise is the page. That's what people kind of know by, because it's just because then you can, communicate with clubs and give them notifications and make friends and stuff like that.
Any way to make it easier for you to communicate, get the word out, especially for the car guys. We don't really need the public on the nuances of where to go, what to do.
Yeah.
That would be, to me, beneficial.
Mhm.
And that you're only hitting that audience, right? And if you have to, I say we create another page, whether it's got to be through ours or just create a personal page. I don't know how to make it work, but I think we should.
So does
It
it
makes
have to be
sense.
I couldn't get it to work with the business side. With
Okay.
Metalworks, I think it has to kind of be a more personal one,
Okay,
but yeah, we probably need to definitely look into that.
yeah,
That way,
I'll figure it
we
out.
could do, hey, check us out at El Ramo, we're gonna be down there, here's some pictures, that kind of stuff, so we can do like splashes as we go.
What if we just called it the Heritage Car Show?
Good.
Just made it a little simpler, but it's still connected.
Right. Good. I think you threw out Almont Auto Fest.
I think we had Elmont on the Avenue last
Yeah,
year
yeah.
on the flyers with the Heritage Fest logo still, but it's Elmont on the Avenue.
DVD presents,
Yeah.
DVD presents and
So
I like that.
talking with you, we got to keep the
Almont
Almont name in
Avenue,
there
I
so
like
it's
that.
associated with Almont, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that has to stay. I mean, you could call it the Almont Heritage Car Show, or I mean,
I like Elmont on the Avenue. I forgot that we did that
I
for
like
a minute last year. That was
It was
really
like the
cute.
End of the
Right.
last.
That was like when
flyers.
we knew it was going to be on
Yeah.
Dan Dyke. Yeah, and then we never really ran with that. But I do like that. It's catchy.
right.
You know,
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that.
Right. Yeah, but I think for sure this year we've got to have a separate page,
And so it can be the Elmont Heritage Festival presents Elmont on the Avenue,
right?
classic car show or whatever, you know?
Yeah, exactly, classic car show, camper, whatever, trucks.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can do.
Yeah, classic auto show, so we're not just limiting.
Yeah.
Can't say classic anymore?
No, cars, I meant,
Oh.
call it autos, because trucks, bikes, like whatever, we don't
Right.
care. Bring your cool old stuff up here, basically.
And the crazy part is classic is what, 20 years ago?
Stop it.
We're all classics.
Yeah. Vintage.
Andy's definitely creeping up on vintage.
I'm almost double vintage.
Yeah.
I feel like I know what I'm doing a little bit more this year. Last year I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, we have a club that they're doing a table and doing the gas stations down there, and they want to take flyers and, push them on it, and then some sort of guy who want to take it, so I really want to use our end, really help kickstart us, so. Having the booth, the booth cruising as well.
What, so what's the time, you already know the time frames where you have to get all this stuff, correct? Okay.
So March 1st, we probably have to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. And I'm only looking at time. We got about 25 minutes left. So is there more on the car show? Should we talk through just timing wise? Yeah. But I would keep, whatever you're doing, keep that logo. You know what I mean? This logo here for your Elmont Auto on the Avenue or whatever you're going to do, keep that. I agree. I do like that logo. Yeah. Moving to entertainment, Family Tradition Band. They're booked.
They're booked for Friday
Why not Saturday?
because they have been booked. They are booked for Saturday. So they're booked for Friday night. And he wants to know if we're getting sound production again.
Oh, they're
I-
not booked for Saturday?
They're booked elsewhere for Saturday. He said they were booked 2 years ago for this Saturday, so they can do Friday.
It's fine. That other one, Whiskey Fix, my 2 cents, she's fantastic.
The only thing is, do we want to do 2 country bands both nights?
She does a lot of non-country.
Does she? I've
What?
never.
I've seen her in a couple things. I mean, it's a mixture, but
Okay.
she's got quite the draw. I mean, something to think through. I mean, that other band we had, what was their name?
Sunset Boulevard.
I thought they were great too.
They were awesome.
I
You want me to reach
That
out
was
to
fun.
both of them?
Yeah. Either both of them. I like them too.
What do we think about production? Sound production, and I thought it was a
Nightmare?
ton
I know
of
you
money.
dealt with
and-
them.
Huh?
I said, I know you dealt with them, so.
I mean, it was like over $3,500, and I know that we got discounts from both bands, but it wasn't $3,500. So,
I guess.
but I don't
Family
think
Tradition-
Family Tradition will play without the production company. Sunset Boulevard would not play unless
So I
we
guess
hired-
we need to find out, we need
And
to
then
figure out who we're
decide.
gonna book and figure out
if it's worth
if
it.
we have to. And if we have to, we have to. If we don't, I'd say let's not.
What's that sound?
What exactly does it entail? Like, what are we getting if we're not, like, what's the difference between having production and not? I don't,
They hook up the lights, they do all of the prep work for the sound.
I think it makes it
Honestly,
easier for the bands.
It just makes it easier for the bands.
Yeah.
They're still gonna have all of the same stuff
oh, so it's just an
without
extra-
production. It just makes it easier for the bands to just show up, plug and play instead of have to
Oh,
set
okay.
up.
The way,
Yeah, we're not paying, I don't agree with paying $3,500 just to do, that's actually like we're paying the band double.
well, if not, then the cost of the band goes up. So if we
By
don't,
3,500?
I don't know. If the band does their own production either the bands do that themselves or they hire it out, right?
Mhm.
So the quote for the band will end up being higher. So that's where you got to weigh is, for 3,500, is it 1,750 per band they're going to charge us extra? Then you might as well just have one company. But if only each band's only going to charge us $1,000, then let's just have the bands do their own deal. The difference is that equipment then, I understand most of it stayed there overnight, and then production just showed up earlier, double checked all the stuff, and like I said, the band just kind of plugged in. So if not, then talking with the bands, they would hire out whoever they did, unless they do it internally. And all that stuff has to leave that night, and then new
All
stuff
come
comes
back.
back the next day.
Is there a place that we could maybe use a different production company that might be cheaper than
I can
3,500?
reach out and see. We went with EQS because he was recommended by Sunset Boulevard and Family Tradition. That's why we ended up with him. He was the one that both of them work with. So
That's the buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Who knows how to send them up, that's why.
Correct.
Stay sensitive over like, I think it might get right or.
Yeah.
sound Right. I think it,
Dealing with bands is a whole nother
Well, and that's the thing.
thing.
Friday, I'd rather have production done so you leave it before when you get here versus trying to mess around.
Right. So, I mean, it's worth a conversation going either way. Which way do we work? And maybe production, we can get them to sweeten the deal if they're here 2 days better than what they did. Because originally, I don't remember production being that kind of money. I could have sworn it was going to be quite a bit less.
no, I think they quoted less until maybe they quoted less for one night, and then because I think they were originally only supposed to do for Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard wouldn't do it without production company. And then when we brought them on for 2 nights, I think it went up.
It's whatever band we use, their contract, whatever they give us by when we book them, we want that to be like their final contract instead of what Sunset Boulevard providing extras that weren't in their contract. Isn't that the issue that we had, or did they provide those details and it was just overlooked? Remember, we had to get the extra stage
That wasn't-
the day of.
That wasn't them.
That was
That
them.
wasn't their fault.
That was a
Okay.
delivery issue. They
That
were
was
supposed
the
to deliver a
delivery
certain
issue.
size.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
if that was like not included
No.
in there. I remember
No,
there
that
being
wasn't
like a
them.
I
big
actually
contract.
don't think that it was. Their staging, I don't think was included in their contract. We went by Family Traditions contract,
And so
But-
they never
but we
specified that.
didn't get correct, yeah.
So if they're not gonna specify something in there, then that's not gonna fall on us this year because that was an added cost. I mean, that's not
was
something
more.
that like,
The cost was minimal compared to the time that it sucked
yeah,
out
I mean,
of.
like
Oh my
you having to run last minute and all the other things that we had to do. I mean, I don't have I personally don't have a problem with getting whatever they need, but they need to provide that to us well in advance, or at least detail that in their contract versus saying the day of, wait a minute, this is what we wanted. Well, then you need to tell us that in advance.
We learned a lot last year.
Yeah,
A lot.
the size that we should have got with the extra is the size we're going to get this year. I think
Yeah.
regardless,
Okay,
just because it's going to make it that much easier.
Okay.
Right? Because even with the bands and the size and all their stuff, you're better off to go bigger. Sadly, you just are. And I don't want to pick up more band stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to the chiropractor for that one. So I am. So. So we gotta find a Saturday band
Yeah.
production.
That needs to be like a
Right.
priority.
Yeah, let's get that hammered in. If those two aren't, Gobies was another name that's good.
What's that?
Gobies, the Gobies I heard was good. Me personally, I threw this out there before, but I'd love to get Family Tradition. They obviously could sign a multi-year contract with the other one. I think we should be doing 2 years. And then that way we know we have that locked up. And then in that as we're doing the first year, now we're working on the third year. We're always 2 out. That way it's not a question of what night or whatever. As a benefit, Friday's usually a slower night, so they'll bring that in. Saturday most will show. And maybe it's not a bad idea having them on a Friday, but
They were on a Friday 2 years ago, and it
Correct.
was still. well, it's-
I don't remember who played Saturday. Was that the Blue?
Something. Code Blue? Is that what it was?
They did a good job, but that was, again, it wasn't publicized all that well. I mean, the turnout was okay.
We're good. There was just nobody there.
Correct.
Not their fault.
The names do draw. If they have their following, it draws. So sadly, we almost won a home game for youth football because that ensures a lot of the parents are in town, you know. Although not my problem anymore. I don't do that sport anymore. It's weird that weekends are going to be open on in the fall, but location of events. What was that for?
Well,
Tent.
not sure where
Tent.
beer tent's gonna go.
My druthers would be back to St. Clair if we can, just because it's central downtown. But we talked about this. We have 500 cars. This is just my 2 cents. Move the vendors down to Mill, take back East and West St. Clair for the cars, and probably the church parking lot for cars. But that still leaves the parking lot behind Mikey's and all them open. Why not?
Dispute that we won't be able to utilize during Heritage
How,
Festival.
how many spots is this?
It's in the middle of the parking
It's in the
lot.
middle
It's in the middle?
Yes.
and it's staked off.
Lord.
I have to see this.
All right. Try.
How many spots is it?
Like a strip, I
Quite a
think.
few. It's probably
Like
at least
13.
12. I was gonna say 12.
12 spots is not the end of the world in the grand scheme of
It's
life,
just
so.
in the middle of
It's
the
just
parking
stupid.
lot,
I get
which
it.
is
It's stupid.
a hassle.
But here's the thing that's going to happen unless there's going to be guards standing there. People are going to knock that shit down and park there anyways. So let's be real.
How
We
about
know
for
how
that?
people are around here.
Yeah,
Nice enough to do a donation last year in lieu of your donation, just free up your
Right?
free
For
up your
real.
parking spots. That one we can work around. It's, you know what I mean? But at least the rest of the parking's open.
So where do you want the tent?
I'm thinking back on my druthers is where we already have power, so we're not spending another $1,000 on a generator.
But if you want cars there, I guess that's where I'm.
yeah.
We can have cars up to the Roots pull-in if the tent is closer towards the side street. Yeah, right there. At least that way, yes, you lose some car spots there, but the reality, it's not taking up parking for people coming in town. It's centralized located, so if we do have to start going down St. Clair ever, it's kind of middle. And with the whole social district, if we're serving alcohol out of there, now it's right there. The porta potties now can go there, which is now central to the car stuff, which helps. And we have power there. That's my 2 cents. Now, if I'm wrong, just
No, that's fine. I'm just thinking, where are we gonna put the food truck?
Trucks.
I thought we were going to utilize businesses for food.
I absolutely want to utilize
yeah.
businesses, but I think we're
We need
still gonna
food
have
trucks, some of them too.
But I thought we're just looking at doing like ice cream and then your typical fair type stuff, right?
Yeah, as long as all of the businesses are on board with bringing their tables outside and stuff like Roots did last year, but I think the food trucks did really well.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we just got to make sure the businesses can support. I mean, that's my biggest thing. I don't want to take away from that.
We'll have
But
another business now in town too by that time. Another restaurant.
by then?
Senior Victor's.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other place.
Oh.
Yeah, so Senior Victors, I know, talking with Mikey's, they plan to have their stuff outside. Roots will have the stuff outside. As long as they, I mean, I think, boy, what they saw last year, they know what can be there. They're ready for it. I mean, I'm thinking one for fair food, your typical deep fried, no good for you stuff, and then dessert type things, I think would be perfect because that's not competing with them at all. You know what I mean?
Ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
On ice.
yeah, I would do that. I was thinking like the bakery sells ice cream now, and
They always have.
They have for, yeah, what?
Yeah.
Always, or last was last few years.
Oh, yeah, last couple
Is it?
years,
Okay.
yeah.
And then people will go up to Charlotte. Well, that's not really walkable for most. I don't know.
As long as they're on board, which it sounds like they will be. I know I talked to Craig and all that. I mean, it sounds like Craig would do some kind of pulled thing. I know talking with Jim Burgers or stuff like that, he could run those all day. We get Maria's to do pizza all day. Not Maria's, Rose's. So
Ria's had a grill out back too.
yeah, if they're willing to be there all day, I think if you have that there and the tent centrally located, I think they physically could do it.
So is the church, being close to the church, not a problem anymore?
Not with the social district.
Okay.
They have no say then.
Part of the reason why we did social districting, we're not beholden to
Part of the
anybody
reason
anymore.
why we included them in it.
Yeah.
All right, we probably need to
Oh, yeah.
What?
speed it up here. We're running out of time.
Vendors. I don't know what everyone's feel is on vendors.
Ha-
They aren't my favorite part, to be honest.
They aren't. Or
No,
are?
but they're a lot of the wives' favorite part when they come to car shows.
No,
Because
I
they're
know, I
sick of
get
all the
that.
freaking car shows.
And I'm fine with, they just take up a ton of space that we don't have. So we just have to figure out where we're going to put them. And I would like to do more kids stuff this year.
The feedback I heard on vendors is more quality over quantity. I don't know.
Start your stuff sucks.
Right?
That's
I
what I
mean,
was
I mean,
told.
everyone's gonna tell me their stuff is great.
I
don't
know.
how to sample it.
We need your
Maybe you price them out. Maybe it's instead of 20 a spot, it's 40. Maybe it makes them think twice. I don't.
And that's a lot of the car guys, honestly, they're just like, we would because we're bored. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll look at
yeah.
some
Right.
Some of the lives, you know, they were really
Right.
Mhm.
Can
Is-
we use, what is that, the park with the memorial?
Oh Lord,
They won't let us.
we
Who,
should.
who owns that, VFW?
Village.
The village won't let us use it?
Village,
Why?
it's not that.
It's not that they won't let us use it, it's that there was a lot of pushback.
because it's
From
sacred
who?
burial
I'm just
ground.
curious.
All of the veterans, all of them.
And there really, there's no rules, it's just that that's really critical on garbage, walking on things, people being, you know, not tactful, or, you know, letting their kids run in the, you know, monument, stuff like that, ice cream wrappers on the ground and stuff.
Right, I mean,
What
it's
if we,
not like
like,
it's
have
not going
that,
to get
like,
cleaned up afterward, though, either,
got
you know?
Blocked off or something. I mean,
I've met with them over stuff and we're kind of doing those improvements. They're really good. I just think honestly some just needs a done. So I don't think they're going to be that. As long as you tell them what you want to accomplish, I don't think they're going to be.
And
Yeah.
obviously, we will make sure it's cleaned up once the weekend is over. Like, it's not like we're going to leave trash, you know, in our town sitting around.
or what if we do
Yeah.
like our 5K is the money that we raise goes towards the veterans or something this year?
The other thing, so we just need to figure out the locations because that's what's worrying me the most. If we're taking up East and West St. Clair now with cars, where are we putting our vendors? And the kid stuff was too far away last year.
Well,
That's the biggest complaint I heard from parents is they wanted to stay longer, but the kid stuff was so far away and we didn't really have that much.
Where was it?
It was down by the library, like so far, I don't want to say far away, like walking distance, but like far from everything else going on.
It's hard to
Can't
put
agree with that
everything
comment,
we
but-
have.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
no offense to walk from the car
It's
show.
not going to
end
be next to
end.
the beer
Make
tent.
everybody
I mean,
Right. We could, yeah.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't mind keeping it there if we're having cars down West St. Clair, but
yeah, I do
to
too.
where are we putting the vendors? I would like to see more kids stuff this year. I feel like
Like,
could
what?
do better.
Like, what else could we,
We had bounce house, face painting, clown,
like, because let's be honest, I feel like we spent a lot of money on the
petting
kids' stuff
zoo.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
You
But go
could,
ahead.
I-
What could we add?
you could go back to the church area.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
kind of what I was thinking.
oh,
If we
yeah.
and I don't even necessarily, you're right, I don't even necessarily know if we need to add more stuff or if it just needs to be
All together?
all together so it doesn't, It's not, like, I don't
Right.
even know if some
We need a
people
spot
made it-
for all of the kids' stuff in one
Yeah.
place.
Right.
I can get that. It makes it much easier for the parents. I
Yes, Sal, they're working on it, we may be touching that.
Right.
It's not there. Well, before we used to have stuff where Sal's was right there.
Yeah, but then we take away our parking again.
know that's
If we went back, if the tent is at East St. Clair and whatever that street is, Bristol, the first one. And if the petting zoo and all the kids stuff is right there at the church, now they can't say it's too far away from anything. It's literally right there. And if we have some cars on East St. Clair back to the parking lot, it's all right there then. You know, that's my, maybe. I didn't think the other way was too far. I mean, no offense. If you walk end to end of the car show, it was about a mile.
and I never actually got to walk over to where the kids' stuff was, so I can't even picture it because I never saw it.
I did run back and
know
forth a
what's
few
going
times to get checks and stuff, and I mean, it wasn't far walking distance. It was just very removed from, like, the parents couldn't do, like, once your kids went over there, you were stuck down there. You didn't get to
Right.
see anything, or, you know.
Like if it was at the church, it's a block east if you go to the church, it was a block west if you went to the library.
I know.
It's not at either of those two locations, you have a bounce house on the pavement.
Right. What if you move the vendors to the church grassy area and then the kids stuff on Mill Street?
Not enough
There's not
grassy
enough
area of
grass.
the church for vendors.
No.
There wasn't enough space for vendors when we shut down West St. Clair. We could have used.
Sadly, the show's going to thrive without vendors or kids
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure.
I mean, really.
Yeah, but if we're doing it,
Right.
we should make it as good as we can make it. I agree
Agreed.
with that.
Agreed.
So yeah, we need
So
to
constricted on-
sit down with a map. Maybe we could do that in events. Sit down with a map and try to like start a plot now of where everything's going instead of, if you're stressed about it, let's work on it. Let's sit down and have a meeting and sit down with the map and
Agreed. I think we
Try
got
to
to
figure
we got to dial that in.
for sure.
Well,
And I think, should we get, I don't know how we do it from last year, but kind of get a number of like quadrants. Like we know in this quadrant, we can get this many cars, that if we could do that, then we can kind of hone that in with where we're parking people.
I would like to see you guys do
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes,
say that
please.
is.
Oh, I'm not saying you.
That is
I'm
not gonna
No,
be my
I don't
strong
care if
suit.
you are. I'm saying that's a you problem
Yeah.
that I would like you all to deal with.
But no, that would,
I'm
and that
not
would,
capable.
but that would help with that, what you're
Yes,
trying to do.
It would, for sure.
Because what did we count? Did we count 300 from, we counted what, was it 300 from the river up to, you and I went on the golf cart. We hand counted.
yeah, it was like 300. Yeah, I think it was the most middle towns.
Yes. So,
Where are we
Right.
gonna put them? I want as many
West
as we
St.
can, but I'm like, where are we gonna put these people?
We've got it. I'm not worried.
The insurance parking.
I'm not worried about 5,
Remember
but I'm
when we
worried a lot
started
more than
putting
5.
them up the center lane, and the fire department was like, no,
Right,
you cannot do this. We're like, oh yeah,
right.
makes
The
sense.
problem is, you don't want to do the number, you can't do any more than this, because then that's just.
Right.
So that's our idea.
We could have went farther north though.
Right.
Yeah,
We could have went farther north, and
that center lane goes all the way up.
Right.
Almost can't see this.
Yeah.
but they could have went all the way to. Obviously, I understand people don't want to be that far removed, but we could have kept going north.
I do like that we're gonna be utilizing the side streets because then we'll be able to have more centralized to that area rather than just going north and south, which makes it like a mile long. But it does,
You know what? Why don't we use? There's no how. Oh, Dollar General will be mad at us. Well, no, because Van Dyke's closed anyways. People could go in off the side street. What if we use School Street from Maine to Johnson
yeah,
Good.
for vendors or for.
for something? We could just use it for something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would
We
be
have
nice.
That street open because there's no houses there.
Vendors or kids stuff.
Washington, there's houses.
The other complexity, and that was brought
Mill,
up,
though, we could use stone.
was we still have to wait for people to get from side to side. And we talked about water to Teeds, where we would, nothing south of water. And then only on the east side, water to Teeds. That way, if people have to get through, they can cut through there.
Mhm.
That was part of the, huh?
So, oh yeah, I got an earful about
Right.
that.
So that actually, I think you and I were looking at it, and I think that's where we said if we lose the space from where the river started up to Water Street, that would equal where we would park on East and West St. Clair. I think you and I did that. So we would lose that, but that would equal that. So that still keeps us at 400. So the other 100 would somehow need to go in that church parking lot. Or anything over 4 would have to go in that church parking lot.
Or north on Van Dyke.
Or north on Van Dyke.
It's gonna be
So-
fun.
Why can't the tent go in the church parking lot?
So,
Parking,
Right there.
so we need parking.
well, the hard part is with the church. Is the church in the social district deal? We have that in there, right? Yeah. I mean, I guess we could. We could technically. It is part of the social district.
Well, I mean, yes, but it's also private property. I know we have a lease agreement with them, but I don't want to push
Right.
too hard either and have them say you're not allowed to use this parking lot anymore because you're
Good.
nailing a beer tent in the parking lot.
All right. So even though we maintain the parking lot.
Right. No, I'm not disputing that. I'm just, like,
I think if we put it in the street, then there's
I
no
also
argument.
don't want,
Well, it's gonna be there for 1 and for 2. That's just a double whammy.
Right. And if we go back to that street concept, when the car show is done, yes, we have that street blocked off, but now for the concerts and on Friday night and on Saturday night, now both parking lots are available for people to park to the concert, which helps. This parking lot, I mean, the parking last year was crazy.
good thing we walked everywhere, parked, had cones in my Jeep. So every time I needed to leave, I coned off my spot. So
Just gonna have the Lions Club drive us around with all their side-by-sides they run
we're
on.
gonna have our ORVs. You just
Yeah.
trailer them in and then
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, we got 5 minutes left.
Can we talk about one thing that's not on there real quick that I just thought about? Are we gonna do a raffle again this year? Do we want to do a raffle?
I thought the raffle was a huge success.
If so, do we want to do another golf cart or do we want to do something different?
Just move.
I'm fine. I'm gonna put him on the floor in a minute.
I
'cause
do
He's
an
distracting.
ORV.
Huh?
Can we do an ORV?
We can do
That's
whatever
a
you want.
lot higher budget and more expensive tickets.
Could we do one? Yes.
You could. Other people do, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna sit on the ground? Thank you.
I love the golf cart though. Would do
I think the golf cart's a great idea. We can do an RRV. I would caution us on the expense to it.
That's, yeah. So we need to talk about that in more detail and make plans because that needs to start in the spring because I am not selling tickets on the day of Heritage Fest again.
And
There's too
We
much going on.
have a ton of local people who do cow and pig who could help us in doing cow and pig raffles and stuff too, which I think would go over well. Bank.
Talking about raffling off an animal, right?
Yeah, we make bank on youth football for pig raffle.
So there's things to do. Here's the thing. I think it would have been, if we, more time, more sold. I still think you need to sell some the day of because it's still plenty of hype, but not to the volume that we did.
It was nuts.
Right.
I mean, if we only had 100, 200 left, that's
Right,
different.
that's
than what we
different.
had, Right.
Right.
But I think like we talked about it, if we started that minimally a month before we did,
Yeah.
it would have been a different story.
I want to start it in May
Right.
at the absolute latest.
Right. And now that we have pictures, we gave something away, it will
Yeah.
sell itself
Oh
better.
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
But so that needs to be on the agenda for next time. We need to decide
Correct.
next time what we're doing so we can get it in motion,
I would agree. Yeah.
please.
In some of the places, it depends. We might have to pay for it up front, or they might do we can buy it after when it's done. We'll just see what they want to do. So, 5K,
I don't have much to say about
Yeah,
that
we
at this
can.
point. I mean, it
But I
is
was-
what it is.
But it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun run, a 5K and a 10K. I'll make it. I'll figure it out. I got to plan the routes, and that's not a huge deal.
You're gonna chair that then, not to
Um,
skip ahead.
Yeah, I'll handle that. That's my baby.
Wayne
yeah.
is chairing the car show.
Yeet.
Whatever we're doing, we just
And
need more bodies.
Ashland can help chair it too.
And Bob said it'll be on next week.
Oh,
Oh,
Carolyn's all in too, but she's got a real bad ear infection. She couldn't handle the noise of the meeting tonight, so she said,
Think she'll wanna
I'm
do it.
all into help. I don't know. I'm sure she'll be at the next meeting.
Tricia, do you wanna do vendors again?
Sure.
I don't really know why I put entertainment on
That's your
there. That's
job.
really me, so we can cross that off. Sponsorships.
Who you looking at? Me or her?
Melissa.
Oh, I guess I will help with sponsorships.
I'll help you with that.
Okay.
obviously.
And I would make that sponsorship / raffles, raffle baskets. Yes,
Tammy will
please.
help you.
Okay.
She was gonna come tonight, but then she's like, are you guys even making any major decisions yet? I'm like, you?
And then do we want a chair for the raffle, or do we want to wait until we get more information on that?
I don't care.
Well, the hard part is this treasurer, you're gonna have to do the Venmo part, which makes it.
Well,
but-
do
We
we?
have a Venmo now.
We got the
Oh,
paperwork
I got
from the
that.
bank.
I did
Yeah.
get the paper.
I
I'll
need
give it
that
to
so
you
I
today.
can
Yep.
set up.
But
But
that's
yes,
what I mean.
we have a Venmo, a
Right.
DDA Venmo now.
It's on the
So.
Chili, no, it's on the Chili Crow registration when you scan the QR code.
Perfect.
So
But what I'm saying is there's only select people who have
money's-
access to that,
Mhm.
so it makes more sense if you,
Mhm.
sorry,
Let's see, help you.
it's fine. Yeah.
and you'll get help.
Andy, what are you chair of?
Yeah, Andy.
The whole thing.
I feel like you got out of this way too easy.
What?
Just saying. I think you should be in charge of the 5K maybe. No,
I'm
I
adding-
want to be in charge of that. so.
I'm adding
I run
him to
around
the
and put up all your
Teasing, I
barriers
know.
that people move after I put them up.
Yeah, people are nice.
I literally put up all those barriers, and every time I
Chair.
drove by them, somebody moved
Chair
them
the
again.
traffic.
Yeah, your traffic control.
Yeah, obviously there's gonna be like subcommittees, like traffic is.
I think I'm looped into all the committees, aren't I?
Basically,
Yeah, that one.
you're out of luck. We didn't start. We're still on here.
Volunteers. Yeah. we need-
You give me whatever. You
And we need to start with the volunteers earlier than what we
give
did
me
this
whatever
time.
job you people want me to have. I'll do whatever.
You can do the volunteers.
You should be in charge of volunteers.
Yeah, you're really good at dealing with
Yeah.
volunteers.
Yeah. Coordinating them.
Volunteers.
That's not what I hear.
And pumping them up or yelling at them.
I don't yell at anybody. Only pregnant ladies.
It's true.
I'll do whatever.
We know that. I'm not worried. I was just giving you a hard time.
I know.
Okay.
All
We'll
right,
take a
but
quick break.
quick break. Pee
Yeah.
break.
Let's take a 5-minute break, because I have to
All
go to
right.
the bathroom.
You're doing very good down there, man. Just want to say, nice job.